Thank you.
Thank you very much.
各位同胞，大家好。我25年前参加民主党，我只有一个目标，那就是为我们人民服务。25年后，我这个目标没有变，我还是想为人民服务、为社会服务，进入国会替你们发言。我以前是在新加坡国大当讲师，参加这民主党以后，被开除，但是我不后悔，没有后悔。为什么呢？因为我在国大的时候当讲师，我只有一些学生，但是我来参加政治，参加民主党以后，我有大家你们。我会了解，让少年时阵辛辛苦苦做工，做到咱的国家安尼成功，咱老了，国家政府应该会晓顾人，但是政府部长就会晓顾家己，伊人的鼓励工直直晓起。咱的鼓励工一直甲咱压低，无理由，咱即阵收费安尼重，政府部长每一个百万富翁，安怎了解咱的坎坷呢？安怎了解咱的烦恼？你食一杯咖啡，就要块几？你食一顿早餐、午餐就2-3块，你拿50块去巴萨买无2项物件，转来就开了。我人民主党，我人会了解，所以我是讲，我人希望有一国会替你们发言，但是呢，我们没有办法帮助你们，我们无力。如果你们没有投我们的票，所以你们这个星期五、这礼拜5来好好，你去投票迄阵，爱会记爱投民主党的票，投我人花钱的票，好不好？投我人的票，好不好？帮我们来替你们发言。支持我们民主党，投我们的票，谢谢大家，感谢了，祝你们身体健康，祝你们身体健康，谢谢，谢谢你们。Friends and fellow Singaporeans, this last week has been absolutely exhilarating, for me at least. I had this wonderful opportunity to connect with all of you again after all these years. I have used this important occasion to highlight crucial issues which affect your lives, issues which have burdened you for many years. More importantly, my fellow candidates and I have presented you specific policy proposals which will help make life less burdensome for you. Our policies take one and only one factor into our consideration, and that is your well-being. We know that you are struggling to meet with your living expenses. We know that you're competing in an overcrowded city to get a job or simply to hold on to yours. We know that you have to work your entire life just to pay off your HDB loan. And then when you retire, you cannot get your CPF savings back. This is why we have put in much time and effort into our alternative policies, because we want a people healthy and happy, not an island overcrowded with unqualified foreigners competing with us for jobs. To this end, the SDP will push for policies where employers give priority to Singaporeans when it comes to hiring. We want to make our housing truly affordable, where our HDB flats don't cost us a lifetime to pay off. To do this, we will advocate that the government does not include land cost into the price of new HDB flats. We want our retirees to live secure and dignified lives with all their CPF savings. For this to happen, we will work to abolish the minimum sum scheme so that you can get your CPF savings back in full. And we want Singaporeans to have a better work-life balance, where our people are not so stressed. To do this, wages must rise in tandem with the cost of living in Singapore. We cannot be the most expensive city in the world and then have our wages stagnate for our people. We want to make our system transparent and hold the PAP accountable. We cannot and must not continue to write the PAP a blank check. This is dangerous and unhealthy for our nation's future. We have put up a very strong case for you to vote for the SDP. Not only have we published several alternative policy papers for you to consider, but we have also put together our town council management plan, where we spell out clearly and in detail how we are going to effect a smooth takeover and how we will more productively and effectively manage your town council. No other party has done this. We drew up these policies because we want to provide an alternative vision for the future for Singaporeans, an alternative that is good for the future of our nation. In the past week, we have focused on three main issues: high cost of living, the retention of our CPF savings, and the continued importation of foreigners into our country. All these issues are, of course, interlinked. The high cost of living is caused by the influx of the super-rich foreigners pushing up prices in our housing, COEs, office rent, and etc. All this translates into financial pressure on our people. Survey after survey shows that we are one of the most, if not the most, expensive cities in the world. And the matter is worsened by the arrival of huge number of foreign PMETs who compete with us for jobs. And then you have the CPF minimum sum scheme, which makes life for our retirees even more difficult by retaining our life savings. I've also pointed out that our quality of life and the well-being of our people is taking a beating because of the sudden and massive inflow of foreigners into this country. The strain of unfairly competing with foreigners the overcrowding of our public places, the constant breakdown of our MRT system, all conspire to make life very harsh and very stressful for our people. Is it any wonder that studies repeatedly show that Singaporeans are the unhappiest and the most stressed out lot in Asia, if not the world? Now all this did not come by coincidence. They happened as a result of PAP policies. But I'm here to tell you that you don't have to live like that. You are not helpless. You are not powerless. You can do something about the situation. You have a way out, and that way is the SDP. In the last 9 days, we have not just told you what is wrong with the PAP policies, but we have also presented to you an alternative vision backed by a set of alternative ideas and policies. It is an alternative that appeals to hope, not fear. One where we appeal to our better angels, not our basest, most selfish instincts. An alternative that puts our happiness, our well-being and our quality of life front and center of policy making, not the blind pursuit of materialism. An alternative where the people have a say in a democratic society where the government serves rather than sues, debates rather than detains, and raises up rather than dumps down the people. We do this because we want to give you a reason to vote for the SDP, not just against the PAP. We do this because we know that you want a constructive and effective opposition in Parliament. Now, needless to say, these policies are not etched in stone, and we are only too aware that they are by no means perfect. Now, PAP says that our policy of cutting our defense budget is too drastic. We are not resistant to amending our own proposal and working with the PAP in Parliament to draw up a more balanced budget so that we can continue to have a strong national defense while at the same time have the government shoulder more responsibility for our nation's healthcare expenses. But this is where the SDP comes in strong. We will table these matters when we are in Parliament so that we can have a rigorous debate and, where feasible, work with each other to come to a workable solution that will help the people. When I was in Raffles Place selling my book a few years ago, a lady, she looked like she was in her 60s. She came up to me and gave me $5. From her uniform, I could tell that she was a cleaning lady. I told her that I couldn't take her money and offered to give her a book, a copy of my book instead. She said that she couldn't read. I said that I know she didn't earn a lot. I thanked her for her generosity and tried to return her the money. But she said to me in Hokkien, "This country is mine too, and I have a share in it. 這個國家是我的，我也是有份。你唔可以賣給我的份." She said that you cannot deprive me of my share. I didn't know how to respond. I just looked on as she slowly walked away. I've kept that $5 note, and today I still have it. I keep it as a reminder to myself why I got into politics 25 years ago. It's not for the power. And it's not for the riches. It's about speaking up for people like this cleaning lady and making life for people like her just a little bit more bearable. If I can do that, then all my struggles, all the sacrifice that I've made has been worth it. Help me, my brothers and sisters, help me get into Parliament to fight for this cleaning lady. You can call me all sorts of names: liar, cheat, gangster, failure, psychopath. You can jail me. You can sue me. You can make me a bankrupt. You can take all my possessions away. But no matter how hard you pound, I will take it. No matter how viciously you attack, I will tahan. No matter how nasty you play, I will not bow down. You can only destroy me if I allow you to. And I do not allow you to. You have taken everything away from me, but there is one thing you will never be able to take away, and that is my pride. You cannot take it because I do not give it to you. And as long as I have my pride, I will always stand up and do what I need to do, and that is speak truth to power. After I finished my studies in the US, I chose to come home. And when I came home, I chose to stay. And when I stayed, I chose to speak up. In life, we are always confronted by choices. At this election, when we go to the voting booth on Friday, what will you choose? You can choose a society of change, a society of promise, of hope, or we can choose a society where maybe we'll feel a little safer, but always under fearful silence and stagnation. We can choose a democratic and open system where policies are debated in an intense but mature manner, or we can choose a non-transparent system under the control of one party. We can choose a party that works hard to create opportunity for all, young and old, rich and poor. Or we can choose a party that continues to extract from our retirement savings and drains us of our spirit. What will you choose, my friends? When you walk into the voting booth to cast your vote, what will you choose? For me, I decided a long time ago. I choose justice. I choose compassion. I choose hope. I choose you, my fellow Singaporeans. I've been fighting for you for the last 20 years, and I will continue to fight for you every single day. I'm not a saint, but neither am I the devil that the other side wants you to believe. I'm just a human being with all my weaknesses and strengths, someone who loves my country and wants the best for it. If you want someone perfect, then I'm not your man. But if you want someone who knows and understands what you're going through, someone who's there not just during the good times, but when you're down, someone who knows your worries, your financial difficulties, your aspirations, your hopes, your dreams, and then willing to stand up and fight for them, then send me to Parliament to work for you. Our Parliament needs an opposition with the intellectual capability to stand toe-to-toe with the PAP. Ask the tough questions that need to be asked. Debate the ministers on issues that need to be debated. And hold them accountable on matters which they must be held accountable. With everything that you've seen in the past week, my friends, from the very first speech that I made at Choa Chu Kang Stadium, to my lunchtime address at the UOB Plaza, to this evening, do you think that I can stand toe-to-toe with the PAP and take them on intellectually? Do you think that I can ask the tough questions and show the ministers up if they give nonsensical answers? Do you think that I can hold them accountable if they break their promises or make policies against your interests? Then on Friday, when you walk into the voting booth, when you see my name, when you see my photo, when you see the SDP logo, put that cross in that box. Send me to Parliament to work for you, and more important, make the ministers work harder for you. In that same spirit, when you see Paul Tambaya's name, or you see John Tan's name, or Jaslyn Goh's, or Kung Wai Yin's, or Sada Sivam's names, put the cross in their boxes. Now people ask me how I go on after all these years, after what the PAP has done to me. Well, there's something that keeps me going. It is the desire to leave behind a better society for my children when they grow up. We must believe. We must believe that we shall overcome. Believe that we can free ourselves from the suffocating system that dumbs us down, that brings out the worst in all of us. Believe that we can replace the system with a noble one that lifts everyone up, that calls on the spirit of the goodness in each and every one of us. Believe that freedom can walk hand in hand with economic progress. To those of you who do believe, I assure you that while the light may not yet be upon us, the dawn is not far away. When the going gets tough, let us sit down, if we must, and rest a while. But even as we do, let not our gaze fall from that sunrise that must surely come. Because we stand at the cusp of something momentous. For the soul of this nation is stirring, and we must be the ones to awaken it. It's been a long campaign. I tell you, as I'm standing before you, I am so tired. I slept like 10 hours in the last 3 nights. But tired as I am, I have never been so excited about going to Parliament where the real work of change, of changing the life for the better for all of us begins. It's been a long campaign, not just for the past 9 days, not just the last 1 year where we started planning for this GE, not just the last 4 years since the last election when we started our work, but for me, my campaign started 25 years ago when I joined the SDP. I have tried to visit as many of you as I can, but please accept my apologies if I have not been able to visit you. It is not humanly possible to visit every one of you in the Holland Bukit Timah GRC. But even though I haven't visited you, I want you to know that I have been working for you. I have not stopped working for you, for democracy, for my country, since that fateful day I started my political journey. And boy, I tell you, has that journey been an incredible one. You know, I started out when May and I didn't have children. And now they're all grown. There were ups and downs. A lot more downs than ups. There were very lean years too. But I never felt deprived. I never really felt afraid because I knew that there is a hand that guides me and my God who leads me. I always knew that at the end of the journey, the reward will be there. It may not be in my bank account, but it is a treasure far more desirable. I remember years ago, after picking up our kids from a friend's birthday party, and it was a big house. And you know how children are. And when we got home, and then my eldest daughter, who was 5 or 6 at that time, she turned to me and asked, "Papa, are we rich?" It was one of those questions that was as simple and innocent as it was complicated. It took me a while as I searched for an answer. And finally I said to her, "Yes, we are. Mom and I may not be able to send you to school in a big car. Or we may not be able to live in a big house where you can have your own room. But yes, we are rich. And you know why? Because we have you." Like any father, I want the best for them. But the most precious things in life are not the ones that glitter. As I said, I may not drive a big car or live in a big house. I don't even carry a credit card or a smartphone. But every day, when I walk through the door and hear my children call out, "Hi, Papa," I feel like the richest man on earth. And because of this, I have all that I need. And I can continue to do the things that really matter. I have found my role in society, and I have found what I want in life. Do I not feel guilty that I've neglected their needs? Sure, it bothers me that I cannot provide for them. What son doesn't want to give his mother some pocket money for her to have some leisure? My mother has sacrificed so much for her children, and now I cannot even help her lead a more comfortable life. That hangs on me. She has been aching inside since the days I joined the SDP. And as I went through all the trials and tribulations, she couldn't do anything about it other than worry and keep telling me that I had to eat well and take care of my health. Tonight, I want to honor her for all her sacrifice and all the pain that I brought her by telling her that I love her very much. And what father wouldn't like to buy his children birthday presents and see their faces light up when they unwrap their gifts? But I know they understand when I don't do this because they tell me that it's okay. Sometimes they tease me about it, saying that I always only give them hugs and kisses. But they know. They also know that I mean it when I say that I love them very much. And what husband would not want to surprise their wives with a gift every now and then? But I've been blessed with a very supportive and understanding wife, with her by my side, for better or for worse, until death do us apart. I know that all of them understand what I have to do, that even though I cannot afford much in life, I give them something much more valuable, my life, my devotion as a father and as a husband.